This homily is also available as a Marian News RSS feed at podcastgarden.com, iTunes, Google Play, and the parish website of St. Peter the Apostle in Wichita, Kansas.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus told his disciples this parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out at dawn to hire laborers for his vineyard. After agreeing with them for their usual daily wage, he sent them into his vineyard. Going out about 9 o'clock, the landowner saw others standing idle in the marketplace. He said to them, "You too go into my vineyard, and I will give you what is just." So they went off. And he went out again around noon and around 3 o'clock, and did likewise. Going out about 5 o'clock, the landowner found others standing idle, and he said to them, "Why do you stand here idle all day?" They answered, "Because no one has hired us." He said to them, "You too go into my vineyard." When it was evening, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Summon the laborers and give them their pay, beginning with the last and ending with the first." When those who had started about 5 o'clock came, each received the usual daily wage. So when the first came, they thought they would receive more, but each of them also got the usual daily wage. And on receiving it, they grumbled against the landowner, saying, "These last ones worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, who bore the day's burden and the heat." He said to one of them in reply, "My friend, I am not cheating you. Did you not agree with me for the usual daily wage? Take what is yours and go. What if I wish to give this last one the same as you? Or am I not free to do as I wish with my own money? Are you envious because I am generous?" Thus, the last will be first, and the first will be last. The Gospel of the Lord. Come, Holy Spirit, come by means of the powerful intercession of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, your well-beloved spouse. Why do we envy? Why do we look at another person's gifts, another person's talents, another person's wealth, and we say, "Gosh, I wish I could have that"? It's natural, I think. It's natural to be able to say, "I want to excel, I want to grow, I want to be able to achieve, or I want to be able to attain these particular gifts," and sometimes it makes us stronger. It propels us, if you will, into greater challenges for ourselves, so that we can grow, we can continue to be better and better. Just like the other day, we had about 5 million kids from around the diocese for the cross-country meet. A whole bunch of 6th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders, even little tiny ones. Anyway, they would sit there and they run 2 miles. And I say to myself, man, I'm glad I don't run. Whoa. And then they had little kids, they had fun run. What's fun? But anyway, but again, I admire the youthfulness. I admire this energy. I admire this talent, this gift. We all have gift, though. And we used to have maybe other gifts. Because if you don't use the gift, you lose it. I lost my gift of running a long time ago. But if you don't use the gift, you lose the gift. And so we all have these gifts and we all have these talents. And so God is asking us, I want you to apply, I want you to exercise these gifts and talents, whatever they may be. And each one of us has it peculiar and different. Each one of us is unique. And God calls us at different times. He calls us at different hours. that we might be able to, should I say, not only exercise the gift, but step into the uncomfortable, step outside of the box, and maybe use a gift that we didn't know we had. I love the little kids when they read for daily mass. Some of the little kids are so scared. They're so scared. And they step on this little stool here. So we can see their eyeballs. And pretty soon you begin to see, you begin to see them becoming more and more confident, because they're becoming more and more competent. And pretty soon they are courageous. And then when you look at them here 4 years, 5 years, 6 years later, and they are just amazing. But they were so scared when they were little. And then they become a teenager. And then you can't hear them anymore. They're so self-conscious. But anyway. But it's amazing, though. It's amazing. With greater competence and confidence, there's courageous and zeal. They become zealous. So these, again, God calls us at different times. He calls us with different gifts. He calls us to step out of the box. He calls us to get into the uncomfortable sometimes, to stretch us so we can grow. And so, yes, I would say that, somebody gets up here and they may be able to wax eloquently. Not me. Those are all particular gifts. Some with greater intelligence, some with greater physiques, some with greater athleticism, all these different gifts, some with greater wealth, some with greater ingenuity, some with greater, just greater drive, motivation. We all have particular gifts. My challenge today is, I ask you to ask God today at this Mass. Number one, what are your gifts? And how is God, number two, how is God asking us to exercise those gifts? God has given us a certain amount of time. How do we use the gifts? Last night we celebrated Doris Dugan's 90th birthday. She's not here, but give her applause. 90th birthday. Amazing. God has given her 90 years. When we had the Stations of the Cross, I think it's over here at maybe the 11th station with the little children. One of the meditations for that Stations of the Cross says, God may allow us to live maybe only 10 years. 10 years, 30 years, 70 years, 90. God has given us a particular amount of time. How are we using that time and our talents in the vineyard? So what are my gifts? How is God calling me to use those gifts? And how am I using that gift of time to exercise these gifts? Herein, I believe, is today's challenge. Come, Holy Spirit, come by means of the powerful intercession of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, your well-beloved spouse.